All right, so now we're ready to letter this locomotive for the Indiana Railroad. First off, why don't we start by writing the word Indiana. And Indiana starts on about this door right here and goes right to about the middle of the engine room. And the good thing about this is the word Indiana doesn't run into anything too much in particular. But as I often say, you're better off trying to make it a little bit shorter versus a little bit longer. So, and it has a couple of I's in it, which, as I said, I's are about half the length of other letters. So why don't we kind of get started, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 letters in Indiana. Let's kind of count the 2 I's as about a half a letter, so it's about 6. And it's about a little over 2 inches. So let's make each one be about 3/8. And what it is, we just set a little guide out. Each, they're right over about 1/4 of an inch, and then the eyes are about half of that. And there's a little bit of space in between them. As I said, better off making them be short than long. Not too short though, but a lot of times this word doesn't have too many great big letters, but letters like A, which it does have a couple of A's, A's can get a little bit wider. Kind of make the base of as I've said before, definitely think that you're drawing the letters, not writing the word Indiana. Think much more that you're drawing each letter. It's much more the frame of mind you want to be in. So there's the word Indiana. Because the name Indiana is as much the logo as the logo itself. Then there's the word the. Might as well put it above. Kind of let you see Indiana. Yeah. there's the, and then railroad. The thing about railroad is you definitely want to start it a little bit before where you feel like you want to start it, because it should end right at the edge here, and you can always give it a little bit more space. You're much better off putting a little bit more space between that OAD, for instance, and railroad. Than totally running out of room. There we go. So you can kind of just, if you space it just right versus running out of room. And then, here we go. Time to put the, might as well, versus doing the logo itself, since we're making letters, and why don't we do the 4004? As I often do, why don't we start with the 2 zeros so that they're kind of nice and centered. Start on the window. Fours are a little bit of a challenging number because they have the tail underneath. There we go. While we're at it and we're doing letters, why don't we put the inrd.com. The same thing that you can kind of pick up is even all kind of and then might as well put the stripes on the nose. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, the thing about stripes on the nose, where you should kind of count down to, there's a point right here. Is this point is where it ends, right there. So count up 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 stripes. It's an inch tall, so the stripes are basically 1/4 of an inch. That way you kind of get the right alternation of stripes. And then really all that's kind of left is the Indiana Railroad logo. But the good thing is once we're done with this, we're pretty much done. Since we put that in, just like drawing the engine, why don't we get the shape of it? There's kind of a little bit off center there. Why don't we move it a little tiny bit? Actually kind of move the outside of it. There we go. And then get the eye going on the angle. we go. Make maybe the base of the eye a little bit wider. And then this Indiana Railroad logo on the back. Just kind of get the hint of the eye there and the rail sticking up. And there's the 4004 in the number board. Just kind of get the hint of the 4004. And then there's the 4004 in the front number board. And there's a couple of and then there's this stripe in the sense of, because it breaks where there's red underneath. And basically from that, we're now lettered. Okay. Get the eraser dust off. Okay.